Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate and to another edition of Raw out of 10. Elimination Chamber is now in the rearview mirror and we are quickly on the road to WrestleMania, and yet matches are starting to get set up now. We've got lots happening. Brock Lesnar's the new WWE champion, big returns, surprises incoming apparently, so let's get straight into it. With Brock Lesnar kicking off Raw and celebrating his win, he was excited for WrestleMania, but Paul Heyman came out to deliver some news. Heyman said that Lesnar would defend the title at Madison Square Garden next month before WrestleMania. Paul was sure the roadblock would stop Lesnar's progress and said if Bobby Lashley wasn't available, Heyman would find someone equally capable to challenge him. And that's an interesting development. Obviously, I think it's a house host, so he'll easily win. But, it just ties into the story slightly more. And it can't really be a bad thing because, would you really trust WWE to do that match bill for a match? Probably not. Before Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens were backstage and expressed interest in going after the Raw Tag Team titles together, more like Austin, bro. Before Street Profits versus Alpha Academy, Gable and Dawkins kicked off the match and Ford came in early and hit a big drop kick. Otis then came in and took Ford out with a body slam. Dawkins came back with a dive and Ford was taken down. Ford tried for a blockbuster, but Gable countered a Northern Lights duplex and Profits hit double team blockbuster before Otis broke out. Ford tried to lift Otis but failed and Otis fell on top of it. Gable came up onto the apron, held down Ford's leg to stop the break, letting Otis pick up the win. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It was a decent enough match, nothing too special, but it wasn't a disaster either by any means. Ciampa was backstage and wanted to face the Dirty Dogs in a tag team match before Finn Balor made his return. They agreed to team up, and that match was next. Ciampa and Rude kicked off the match, and the Dogs tried to isolate Ciampa early in the match. Ciampa kicked Ziggler off the apron and sent Rude outside as well before bringing Balor in for a dive to the outside. Back on the show after a break, Ciampa was still alone in the ring, and after a big sequence, the Dogs isolated him. Ciampa got a clothesline and made a tag before Balor came in and got a near fall. Balor then got the sling blade before tagging Ciampa in. Ciampa came in and hit a flying knee and a sunset flip before picking up the win. I'll give it a 7 out of 10. This was a decent segment, a really nice surprise with Balor and even Ciampa competing, and the match was decent as well with the 4 competitors involved. Just for a mid-card tag team match, this was really, really good stuff, it has to be said. The Miz was out next and said that he realised that fans could not be trusted. He added that he found a tag team partner and he was about to reveal who it was before the Mysterios made their entrance. Rey Mysterio said that whoever was Miz's new partner, they probably didn't deserve the opportunity. Miz fired back and took shots at Dom, saying that he didn't deserve success either. Miz challenged the Mysterios to a match at WrestleMania with Logan Paul. The Miz and Paul attacked and wiped out the Mysterios by sending them into the ring post and hit the scroll thrashing finale on Rey before Logan hit the same on Dom before walking out. This was, it's been rumoured, I'm not massive against it. This was decent enough segment. Logan Paul beating Rey Mysterio was funny, but I enjoyed it. Looking forward to seeing where it goes. Alpha Academy were backstage on the show and said that they weren't losing the titles anytime soon before he got Rhea Ripley versus Nikki ASH for about 55 times in a row. Ash went for a slap before Ripley headbutted Nikki into the mat. Rhea drove her into the corner, taking her down and sending her outside into the announce desk. Back in the ring, Nikki got some big moves in the ring before Ripley came in with a massive riptide and picked up the easy win. How many times have we seen it now? Just bloody move on. It's the same old shit every week. At least with Aaliyah and Natalia, we sometimes get different winners. But this is just the same old stuff every week. 3 out of 10. Please, for the love of God, just come up with something new. Damian Priest v Shelton Benjamin was next, and the referee was distracted by Shelton Benjamin early on, allowing Shelton to get a massive move for a near fall. Damian took out Cedric on the apron before Benjamin hit a knee strike. Priest then hit a chokeslam and a reckoning before picking up the win, but not without some drama, but it still was a fairly dominant victory. After the match, Priest put out a US champion title open challenge for a world title caliber superstar, and Finn Balor answered it, and they decided to call a title match next week. Really, really can't wait for that. That'll be great. Overall, I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Not a bad segment at all. Reggie was out next and called Dana Brooke out to talk with her. Brooke walked down. Reggie apologised for stealing 24/7 title. He then asked to pin her. Reggie kicked out twice, but Dana went for a kiss while pinning him and picked up the title when the title chasers were out once again, but the proceedings were taken down by Reggie and Brooke before Bianca Belair was out next on Raw and celebrated her chamber win. And the shot against Becky Lynch. Lynch walked out and said that Belair owed most of her successes to the likes of Becky and her peers, who laid the groundwork for their division. They argued for a bit before Doudrop made her entrance for some reason and joined them in the ring, and that started a match between Bianca and Doudrop. Becky Lynch was on commentary and Doudrop had the early advantage before Bianca sent her outside before hitting a crossbody to the outside. Belair was taunting Becky before Doudrop took an advantage and took her out with a crossbody of her own. Doudrop then missed a cannonball in the corner before getting a Michinoku driver for a near fall. Doudrop was setting up for a splash in the ring, but Belair continued it into a powerbomb. Bianca got the KOD and picked up the win. Yeah, I'll give this a 6 out of 10. I mean, like, the promo was alright, the match was a bit weird, but it's fine. I mean, like, when you just had that whole 24/7 stuff before, I mean, it made this seem like a genius wrestling segment, but I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Edge was out next and shared his experiences with WrestleMania in the past. He congratulated The Undertaker and recalled WrestleMania 27 was supposed to be his last. As Raw went on, Edge said that he still had dreams about WrestleMania every year and the show needed him. He laid down an open challenge for WrestleMania before the show continued. Really can't wait to see who's going to answer that. I've got to think it could be a big name. We got Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins versus Bro. Owens and Riddle kicked off the match and KO got the early advantage and managed to isolate Riddle with the help of Rollins. Seth tagged in and so did Randy before things turned around for Bro. Rollins was sent outside and KO tried to interfere, but he was dropped on the announcer's desk by Orton. Rollins took Orton out with a knee strike before he headed for a break. Back on Raw, Rollins got a near fall off the frog splash before Randy was tagged in. Randy got some big slams and a draping DDT on KO. Rollins then got a stomp on Randy, but the outside before Riddle got a floating bra on KO. Owens came in with a stunner and brought Rollins back in for the stomp before Rollins picked up the win. And yeah, it seems like Bro have been added to the match. I don't know what it really means for WrestleMania. Hopefully not too much. I want to see Owens versus Stone Cold, but we'll see. But yeah, overall this gets a 7 out of 10. Great, intriguing, as a decent match. Overall, Raw this week gets a 6 out of 10 from me. Yeah, I thought it was a decent episode of Raw this week. Some stuff going on. I wasn't massively in favour in all of it, but just for like 6 weeks away from WrestleMania, got a lot of building to do. I thought the groundwork was left pretty well, and yeah, I'm already getting hyped for WrestleMania, and that just says it already. But anyway, guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, drop your thoughts, comments down below, follow on Twitter, link description for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to the channel and screen button. That'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace.